Coming up on the Q30 Newscast, Quinnipiac's newest attraction is finally fully up and running and just in time for the busy weekend.
Plus, Parents Weekend is right around the corner. We have everything you need to know about this upcoming weekend.
And Fall Fest was a major success with some major artists performing in Hamden.
All that and more. The Q30 Newscast starts right now.
Welcome into Studio 125 for this week's edition of the Q30 Newscast. I'm Ethan Logue. Next to me is Hannah Smith, and we have a lot of news to get to, so let's jump right into it. We begin the evening with some developing news. Quinnipiac Student Government Association Vice President of Finance, Cameron Davignong, resigned earlier today. A statement from SGA says, quote, Cameron Davignong, the Vice President for Finance for Quinnipiac Student Government Association, has decided to resign from his position. He announced his resignation today at our general board meeting. The resignation will go into effect after a special election takes place on November 3rd, end quote. According to a tweet from the Quinnipiac Chronicle, Davignong resigned citing personal and academic reasons. He is the second SGA board member to resign this month, following the resignation of former Vice President of Public Relations Carmine Grippo.
On the Rocks pub is officially under swing after 2 years in the making. On the Rocks received their liquor license on October 20th, just in time for Bobcat Weekend. For students 21 and older interested in ordering from the bar, there is a sign-in process for first-timers. Students will need to show a photo ID and fill out a form regarding age and driver's license number. After, students will be given a wristband in order to receive a drink. Katie Cohn spoke with Chief Experience Officer Tom Ellett about the rules to buying drinks.
You purchase your alcohol individually, one at a time, so you can't buy two individually, and no student who's under 21 can go to the bar area itself.
The university assures parents, faculties, and students that underage drinking will not be tolerated. For students under the age of 21 interested in coming to On the Rocks, you can still swing by and grab a bite to eat.
With Halloween right around the corner, safety is a main concern for local clubs and Quinnipiac public safety officers. For more on how Quinnipiac students can have a safe and fun weekend, Q30 Newscast producer Samantha Pirelli caught up with Chief of Public Safety Tony Reyes.
While some students may fear entering club doors like these, Toad's Place is offering a safe and fun way to celebrate Halloween weekend.
President and manager of Toad's Place is requiring masks, COVID tests, and/or vaccination cards to enter, and students have been following the protocols for the most part, which keeps the business up and running.
It's been good. People have been coming in, and we've been really crowded. Our dance parties have been doing good. Our concerts have been doing really good.
Although COVID restrictions have lifted slightly, public safety officers want to remind students that we are still in a pandemic and to be responsible while going out.
We know that people are eager to go out and have a good time, but we want to remind everyone that we're not out of the woods, and so our concern is that we don't want to go backwards.
With keeping the Quinnipiac COVID guidelines in mind, students are afraid of having a repeat of being sent home due to high COVID cases this time around last year.
I would like to not have to go home and just do all my final assignments from home.
Students feel as though being vaccinated is a sense of freedom in a way for the students that do go out to nightclubs and parties.
I think that people are getting more comfortable and more relaxed with the rules.
Despite this semester being very different from last year in general, the main goal is to stay safe and remain on campus all year round. I'm Samantha Pirelli for Q30 News.
Bobcat Weekend is this weekend as parents and alumni will be all over campus taking part in numerous events and activities that the university is offering. Some of the highlights of the weekend include a State of the University address, which will be on Saturday at 11, as well as a men's ice hockey game, which will be at 4 on the same day. Be sure to check out the full list of activities the university is offering at alumni.qu.edu. The Student Government Association voted not in favor of sending a letter to President Biden calling for him to relieve student debt. Quinnipiac's student government is one of many student bodies in colleges around the country who are considering sending letters to President Biden calling for him to erase his student debt. The meeting was held today and was open to all Quinnipiac students to voice their own thoughts and opinions regarding the letter. Q30's own Luca Triant spoke to SGA President Nicholas Champanelli about why the SGA decided to vote against the letter.
This decision was largely come to due to the inherent nature of the letter, seeking to resolve a temporary issue, resolving something in the now. And we, as the Student Government Association, found that given it was my name on it rather than student government advocating for all students, we would not be abiding by our own values.
With Quinnipiac parking lots on campus at full capacity during school days, Quinnipiac has established a new advisory board. This new board was created to advise the prospective management policy and related issue for every member of the Quinnipiac community. There will be 3 appointed positions that will be held by Tom Ellett, One Stop, and different nominated positions. To be a member of the board, you are required to submit a letter regarding why you would like to join. Matthew Jaron-Sick spoke with Assistant Vice President for One Stop and Register Joshua Berry on how the new board will help address current issues.
We would like to first address the concerns and the issues that all members of the community have raised, and then look at them from perspective, everyone's perspectives, but also see if we can address some solutions as well and assign solutions that make sense and are equitable for all.
The first Parking Advisory Board meeting will be held next Wednesday. This advisory board is taking all things students and faculty have to say into consideration to improve Quinnipiac's parking.
Well, it's time for our first break of the night, but still to come. LGBTQ History Month was this month, and our very own Hepzibah Rajan has more on the importance of LGBTQ history.
Mason Glaude is also in the studio to give us a national news update. But first, Melanie Carrari is standing by with the 3-day weather forecast. How's it looking out there, Melanie?
Thanks, Ethan, Hannah. Well, we're just going to start off. I'm going to give you a little taste of what we can expect for this week. Today we saw some cloudy skies and pretty chilly weather today with a high of 56 and low of 43. However, the sun is shining through with a high of 59 and low of 40. And then on Friday, we are seeing cloudy skies pretty similar to today with a high of 58 and low of 50. But with those cloudy skies, I can tell you what to expect for the rest of the week after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills, not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. It's here. It's here. Wait. What?
I can't drive.
Why?
My.
Oh.
Welcome back. Thank you for sticking with us tonight. October is LGBTQ+ Pride Month, and as the month draws near to a close, we will take a moment to reflect on the importance of the month and its history. Hepzibah Rajan has a story.
Quinnipiac celebrated LGBTQIA+ history during the month of October. First celebrated in the United States in 1994, the idea to honor LGBTQ history sparked in the mind of Missouri high school teacher Rodney Wilson. One of the earliest turning points in the history of this community was a 6-day riot after a police raid took place at the Stonewall Inn. Students feel that the celebration of LGBTQ history is for everyone to learn more about their struggles.
I think this month and any celebration of LGBT plus history isn't just for that community, but for everybody. Because every single fight we have in this country, and every single problem that all these different cultures have, we all need to learn about them, and we all have to learn from them.
May 17, 2004 marked the first same-sex marriage in the United States. Massachusetts was the first state to legalize same-sex marriage after the state's Supreme Court found the bans on same-sex marriage to be unconstitutional. Celebrating the history on campus is significant to learning more about themselves, says Hennessy's Iskoa.
I think that the university setting or the college experience is an opportunity for students to explore things that they couldn't explore at home.
According to students, the school's library exhibits, gender studies courses, and other works are great resources for the future generations.
I think definitely through like the exhibits that the library is doing right now, the new classes being like sexualities course, masculinities course, and in general that it's being talked about more like the AIDS pandemic.
Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Hepzibah Rajan.
A new survey done by the Quinnipiac University poll finds that 41% of Americans are more likely to look for new jobs due to the COVID-19 pandemic, while 52% of people polled say the pandemic did not make them or people they knew more interested in finding a new job. Young Americans' demographic stood out the most out of all groups, as 63% of those aged between 18 and 34 stated that the pandemic made them or people they knew more willing to find a new job.
We're now going to toss it to Mason Glaude with the latest updates around the country. Mason, tell us, what's going on across the nation right now?
Organizers have collected over 2,000 signatures from Amazon warehouse workers in New York to vote to unionize. On Monday, a dozen activists carried cards into a local labor office petitioning it to authorize a union vote. Supporters stood outside chanting pro-union slogans with a cutout of Jeff Bezos. Chris Smalls, leader of the movement, said, quote, "We want better working conditions. We want higher wages. We want longer breaks. We want better medical leave options," end quote. Amazon continues to claim that unions are, quote, "not the best option," end quote. A 37-year-old man was arrested on Monday in connection with the vandalism of one of the 3 George Floyd statues in New York City's Union Square earlier this month. Mika Beals was charged with criminal mischief after being accused of throwing gray paint on the face of the statue while riding a skateboard through the park. Beals was arraigned on Monday and released on his own recognizance on Tuesday. The statue was partially repaired for $2,000, but full repairs will require nearly $20,000. Beals' next court date is scheduled to be November 1st. The FBI confirmed this past Thursday that it found the remains of Brian Laundrie in a Florida reserve after an evaluation of his dental records. Laundrie is the 23-year-old fiance of Gabby Petito and the only person of interest in her death. The parents of Brian Laundrie arrived to the site to help search. Quickly, they found partial human remains now identified to be Laundrie, a backpack and notebook belonging to Laundrie. On Wednesday, Petito's family continues to issue a public plea to Laundrie's family to cooperate with authorities. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Mason. Great job as always. We're going to step away for our second break of the night.
But don't go anywhere, as Melanie Carrari will join us again to give us the full 7-day forecast and temperatures around the state. We'll be right back.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made home ownership happen. Homeschooling yourself on loans, beefing up your credit score. So I'm pre-approved. You were like, yes! Sorry. Color coding listings, ticking boxes, and flushing every toilet in a 20-mile radius. Home sweet home. You aced house hunting. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Welcome back to Studio 125. We appreciate you staying with us on this fine Wednesday night. And as promised, we are now joined in studio by Melanie Carreri to give the latest updates and weather. How's it looking out there, Melanie?
Thanks, Ethan, Hannah. We're going to start with our 7-day forecast. So as I mentioned earlier, on Wednesday, we had a high 56, low 43, pretty chilly. Tomorrow, we do see some sunny skies with a high 59 and a low 40. And then Friday, pretty similar to today, partly cloudy skies with chilly weather. But let's move on to the weekend real quick. So Saturday, I know it's family weekend, and I know a lot of your parents are planning on visiting. So you may want to remind them to pack their raincoats, umbrellas, and all their rain gear, as well as driving safe on those roads. But hopefully those showers are just a good old Halloween trick, because as we see on Sunday, there are some cloudy skies with no rain, with a high 63 and low 48. And then moving on to the rest of the week, Monday and Tuesday, the temperatures rise up in the 60s with some sunny weather. And Bobcats, I hope you enjoy your weekend and have a safe and fun time. And with that said, we're going to bring it on over back to the desk.
Thanks for sticking with us. This past weekend, Quinnipiac held Fall Fest with 3 special guest appearances. Let's kick it to Melanie Carreri as she gives us a recap of this past weekend.
After a long, quiet year of having to wear masks outside and not having any social gatherings, WQAQ and SBB worked hard for a huge comeback with Fall Fest, and the Bobcats couldn't be more excited.
From an empty quad to an electric quad, Quinnipiac Student Programming Board and radio station WQAQ have been organizing Fall Fest from June all the way to October. Saying they're excited to bring back the event is an understatement.
We're very grateful and thankful that we have this opportunity, especially when I got the green light essentially over the summer. I was filled with so much joy. I was just so happy that we're going to be able to bring back the concert in such a large scale.
The free event provided food, games, rides, crafts, and of course, live entertainment. Performers included Grayson DeWolf, Trevor Daniel, and Rebecca Black. Not only are students excited, but even faculty enjoyed the fun.
And today, so much energy, so much diversity of fun, music, food, all of the things that a college student wants to do on a lazy fall afternoon.
Patience, teamwork, and dedication brought the Bobcat community together and even had some falling off the edge of their seats.
Reporting for Q30 News, I'm Melanie Carreri.
Thanks, Melanie. Great job. And Hannah, it's really great to see everyone showing their support, getting out there, especially after the year we had.
It really is. First time we've had Fall Fest in over a year. Seeing all the excitement and the energy out in the quad was
the
just...
concerts, the talent.
concerts, the talent, they were all so great. It was so great to see all the smiles on the quad.
That's good to see. Well, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter at Q30.com and Instagram at Q30 Television. Download the app, available on the App Store and on Google Play, to stay up to date with the latest in Quinnipiac news.
For my co-anchor, Hannah Smith, the producers, and everyone behind the scenes, I'm Ethan Logue. Enjoy the weekend and have a happy Halloween.